Hey T Squad, it's me Keisha, and I am here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Marriage DC Season 1, Episode 3 review. Yes, you guys, I have seen the footage today from the Scotts and the Holts having a physical altercation while filming today. I do have the footage and I have done a video on it. I filmed it hours ago. I'm just waiting on YouTube to monetize it so I can release it to you all. Just know that it is a mess, a mess, a mess. Oh, Lord Jesus. But we're here to talk about Love and Marriage DC. So we pick up exactly where the episode from last week went off, where Chris brings up Winter's estranged husband, Kevin. And he tells Winter how he met up with Kevin and how Kevin was saying he was so in love with her and how he wants to be with her, this, that, and the third, and all the stuff that was going on with his job and how his job is accusing him of stealing money and how Chris believes him and he just seems so convincing and all of this stuff. Well, Winter was basically like, fuck that. I don't believe shit that nigga got to say. He's 60 years old. He lived with his parents in his parents' basement. He don't got a car. She was just dogging dude. So Ashley, in her confessional, basically calls Winter out for being dumb. She was like, you call yourself being a relationship expert and helping other people's in their relationship, but yet and still you met somebody, married them within a year, and you had never even been to this man's house to know how he lived. Like, you had no idea this man was living in his mama's basement and didn't have no car. Like, and then I'm not understanding, like, he worked for this financial company and was accused of stealing money. So where was the money going? And what kind of financial institute did he work for that he was living at home with his mama at the age of 60? It all don't make no sense to me, Jesus. But I agreed with Ashley, sorry, that sounds crazy. And so Winter says that, Kevin was served papers for the divorce. So she's happy about this. She just wants to get this whole situation moving forward and over with. So then Monique brings out a bowl with questions inside so they can play a couples game. And she says that Winter is going to lead the game because she's a relationship expert. And Ashley was like, how did you become a relationship specialist? And her husband, Quick, was like, yeah, I want to know too, because, most specialists like nail techs don't never have their nails done, or beauticians don't never have their hair done. So how you become a relationship specialist? Basically saying, you over here calling yourself a relationship specialist and you've been divorced and you just got scammed by somebody else. So, like, where is your credentials? Child, the shade coming from them had me tickled pink. I was hollering. So Winter was looking at them like, I know you fucking lying, you bitch, you. So Ashley was like, I want to know too. You got one divorce and one scammer. And I'm looking at the television screen like, where there's truth, there is truth. Because how are you a relationship specialist when you have had two failed relationships? Like, love, I wouldn't listen to shit you got to say about relationships because you obviously don't know a goddamn thing. So Winter was like, there's not anyone I can't coach. And she breaks down her credentials. And Ashley was like, girl, you can talk to who you ever want to talk to, but who are you helping? Now, child, Ashley ain't a lot of people's cup of tea on this show, but I must say this episode that she had me cracking up. She funny as hell to me. She's shady and she funny as hell, and that's what Carlos King said before the season started, that we were going to get from her, and she is living up to the hype. I must agree with her on everything that she was saying, because Winter was like, she didn't know he lived with his parents and stuff because his parents and everybody was co-signing this lifestyle that he was supposed to be living. And Ashley was like, so you never went to his house or whatever? She was like, no, it was during COVID. And Ashley was like, what, you married him during COVID? Make it make sense. Because that don't make sense. Like, how you marrying somebody and you never even stepped foot in a place that they called home? Like, huh? So the whole time y'all kicked it, he just came to see you? Like, what is going on? And then he ain't had no car. So who car was he driving when y'all went out on dates? Was you going to pick him up? Was he driving his parents' car? Why is a 60-year-old man staying at home with his family? I just don't understand this. Like, and you did no research. I mean, talking, anybody can tell you anything. Like, as a woman that is 40 years old, I would think Winter would know that. Like, proof is in the pudding. Like, a motherfucker can sell you a whole goddamn dream with his words, but you have to visually see shit to know really what it is and to really see a person for who they truly are. So, yeah, when a girl, you might as well just take the L on that one and just say, yeah, I fucked up. Like, I fucked up, and I didn't do my due diligence, and I got played. Because to be honest, all this justifying that Winter is doing, it doesn't add up and it doesn't make sense. Like, she's trying to blame everything on this Kevin guy, but she also has to take blame that she didn't do her research. She didn't put the effort in to really learn about this man. And you jumped into a marriage with somebody that obviously you barely knew, like barely knew. And yeah, you never really 100% know a person, but you didn't even do the bare minimum, darling. Like, So Ashley and Winter going back and forth about the subject, and Ashley basically says that, you know, you ain't qualified to be nobody's relationship specialist, and that she wasn't a good wife, because I guess she was saying, you know, because she had one failed marriage and now another failed marriage. So how you gonna tell somebody else how to be a wife when you don't even know how to be a wife? And I was like, oh Lord Jesus, the shade of it all. So Winter goes on to say that he portrayed himself to be one way, but once again, that's your fault, love. That's your fault. You gotta accept some blame in this. So Quick asks, as they continue on the game, you know, he totally changes it and decides that he gonna lead the game, and was like, you know, so who is everybody's celebrity crush? Because I know who Ashley's is. And he was like, it's Uncle Jesse from Full House or whatever. So she was like, you know, yeah, she got a crush on him, but she was like, you know, as far as my other crushes, you know, it's easy to, you know, be attainable, because, you know, nowadays you can slide in somebody's DMs and you can get at them like that. And Winter was like, so you're saying through him you have access? And Ashley looked at her like, excuse you? She was like, no, it ain't through him, it's through me. Like, look at me, like, I'm a bad bitch, like, I'm cute, like, you got me fucked up. And what Winter said was shady as fuck, meaning like the only reason why you can even slide in somebody's DM is because your husband, you know, works in the celebrity entertainment field. And Ashley, on the other hand, was stating like, no, bitch, because I'm a bad bitch and I can pull any nigga I want, you got me fucked up, Cassie. And I was like, go head off, sis. Go off, sis. Okay, girl. Like, Ashley's a very pretty woman. Will never take that away from her. But I'm like, chill, girl. Like, it's great to have confidence, but like, you're doing team too much. So, Jamie and Irena go on a run, and Jamie gets on Irena for spilling their relationship tea at the dinner, and her bringing up, you know, his past infidelity and all the stuff that they have gone through in the past. And she was like, well, you know, it happened. They wanted, you know, relationship advice. And he was basically like, girl, keep your mouth shut. We don't know these motherfuckers like that. They don't need to know our business like that. And I was like, I mean, I understood where Jamie was coming from, but at the same time, this is what you signed up for. You're on the title of the show is Love and Marriage. You know, you're there to talk about your relationship. And yeah, some things aren't going to be so pretty, but it is what it is. So Irena then brings up him talking to little Jamie and, you know, just actually talking to him and having conversations with him. Not just, hey, how you doing? What's going on today? You go get your hair cut. And he like, girl, we talk. We're good. But I understood where Irena was coming from with that. Like, you need to tap in with him and really see where his head is at. And that goes for not just him, but their other son, Jason, as well. So then we go over to Monique and Chris' house, and Monique confronts him about him telling her hush at the dinner. And he doesn't feel like him saying hush was disrespectful. He felt like that was a nicer way than saying shut up. And of course she disagrees. And I disagree as well, because you said it in a condescending way, like, okay, hush, hush then, like she a kid. And you don't talk like that to your wife, first of all. And then you especially don't talk to your wife or your partner, period, like that in front of other couples. Like, that shit is fucking embarrassing, yo. I've been in that predicament where I've been out with other couples and me and my spouse then got into it in front of other people. Like, that shit is embarrassing as hell, because you know they going home and talking about y'all. So I didn't appreciate that either, and he owed her an apology. So Monique goes on to say that, you know, they got the friendship thing down packed, him and her, but they need to work on the romance department, like, because it is really lacking between them. And I hope that they get it together, because I like Monique and Chris together. So then we see Winter at her home, and her mom comes over to talk to her about this whole Kevin situation. And we find out that Kevin actually went to her mom and asked for her permission to even date her, period. Not her hand in marriage, just to date her. And her mother, you know, gave her blessing. And so the mother now feels like she's to blame for Winter being in this predicament. And I was like, well, mama, no, it ain't your fault. Your daughter is a grown, able-bodied woman with a head on her shoulders, and she didn't do her due diligence of really learning this man, and she rushed it. She really honestly did. And then know that you have children and you married this man so quickly and you didn't even really know him like that. No. So Winter, you know, starts tearing up, and she says that, you know, they were served papers from the sheriff regarding this whole situation with Kevin and his job. And she was like, you know, what if one of my kids would have answered the door with a sheriff being there? And she's just really emotional, and it's sad, you know, and I feel for her, but at the same token, she's blaming everything on Kevin and not taking responsibility for her part in this whole situation. So then we see Irena meet up with Ashley at a med spa, because Ashley wants to get Botox underneath her arms because she's been having hot flashes and shit. She premenopausal. So Ashley says that she has had fillers in her face and she's had implants and everything. I thought them was her regular breasts, because they real heavy for them to be implants. They're really quite big. And after she gets her treatment, they, you know, in the room talking, and Irena brings up the dinner and the Winter situation. And Irena was like, you know, y'all was getting heated. She was feeling kind of attacked. And it seemed to me like Irena was kind of like getting on Ashley, like, you was doing a lot, girl. Like, you was really eating that girl up. Like, you was doing a lot. And Ashley was like, she felt attacked. I felt attacked, you know, with her saying, like, I only got access to celebrities because of my husband or whatever. They was throwing shade at each other. But I will say that Ashley was the one that, you know, really started it. But the things that she was saying was true tea. Like, the shit that she was putting out there about this marriage was what it was. Like, you sound crazy and you want to sit up here and tell us what you going through, but then you don't want nobody to get their opinions. Nah, that ain't how they work. So Irena was like, you know, I want to have a girls' night so we can, you know, try to squash this or whatever. And Ashley was just like, girl, okay, I guess. She was like, but it's something phony about her and that haircut. Baby, I was on the floor. Ashley is a fool. I'm really starting to like Ashley a lot more on this show, because so far she's been the most shadiest person, her and Winter. So then we see Jamie and his sons at the gym exercising and stuff, and it was a really good scene to see him and the boys exercising and everything, and him helping their blind son Jason exercise. That was really sweet. And so DJ Quicksilver and his son arrive, and they exercising and stuff too. And Jamie tells DJ Quicksilver that, you know, he wants him to, you know, talk to Jason because Jason wants to be a DJ. So he brings Jason over, and Quick was like, so you want a DJ? You like music? And he was like, yeah, my dad want me to be a DJ. And I was like, oh, he don't want to do this. This is what Jamie wants him to do. And I understand Jamie trying to give the boys, or just their children in general, direction. but it's a must that he listen to them, to what they want. It's not what he wants or what he feels would be the best thing for them to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not their boy passion. You got to support your children, because I know how it felt to have a dream to do something and not be supported, or not to have my parents understand, or, really put their 100% support into it. You know what I'm saying? Because especially when you're doing stuff that's unorthodox, people don't think that you'll be able to make money from it, or think that it's going to be a fluke, or it's never going to happen. So I think that, he should support his sons in whatever they choose to do. You know what I'm saying? And if they fail, they fail. Pick yourself up and do something else. So, Quick was even like, I hope this is something that Jason really wants to do and not what Jamie wants him to do. And I hope that he's not one of those types of dads. So then Jamie asks Quick to talk to Lil Jamie, because Lil Jamie look up to him and all of that stuff, because, he's a big time DJ. So Quick, raps to Lil Jamie on some, you don't need to be in the streets type shit. I was in these streets. I was shot at 13 and paralyzed for 9 months. I've been stabbed. My mother died when I was young. Then my father died when I was 18. So I've been on my own since I was 18. And Lil Jamie, was really like listening, because, he looks up to Quick. And I really did appreciate Quick running game down on him, like, that lifestyle ain't what you want. Like, you don't want to go to jail because your ass is too motherfucking pretty and they gonna get your booty. So you need to sit your little frail ass down somewhere, because you ain't no bigger than a toothpick. So it was good to see Lil Jamie, listen. And I hope that, he really took everything that Quick was, saying to him into consideration. So then at the end of the episode, we see Winter, Tasha, Irena, and Ashley meet up at Ocean Prime so they can all get together and talk. So Winter wonders, will Ashley get on her nerves this time? Because the last time they been around each other, it just has not been good. So Winter does a toast and she says, to new friendships. And Ashley was like, And Irena was like, what's that about? And she was like, friend is a big word. Like, I don't really know you hoes like that. And I felt Ashley on that, because I don't call nobody friend like that. Like, I can honestly say that I didn't call, like, Sheridan and Sharita like my friend for a few years. Like, no, I don't use that word lightly, because if you my friend, nigga, you my friend, and I got you to the end. So I understood what she was saying, because when I interviewed all of them, they all said that they did not know each other like that prior. So these are new friendships. So I love the fact that Tasha was sitting on the end cracking up laughing. Her and her husband Neil were like my favorite interview that I did before this season began. So I love Tasha's energy. She was cracking up like, girl, I don't give a fuck if you want to be my friend. So Ashley then, as her and Winter are speaking about what happened at the couples dinner, she says, I was bored with the whole conversation about Kevin. And you gotta give it to Ashley that she real, and she gonna say the shit in your face, and that she ain't doing a bunch of backtracking and pussy popping. I gotta give it to her about that. I gotta respect that. So Ashley then goes on to explain her position on where she stood with everything that she said that night. And Winter was like, would you consider Irena a friend? And Ashley was like, we're friendly-ish. And Irena, you could tell she was a little hurt and bothered by that. But at the same token, she did acknowledge, like, we don't know each other. We are just not becoming friends. But I don't know. I got a feeling at some point, Irena and Ashley are going to end up getting into it. I can already see it. Like, Irena, I feel like, is giving her grace, because she not trying to go there, because she is the oldest woman in the cast, and she wants to lead by example. But based off the first episode, when Ashley brought up how much older Irena was compared to her, and now the we're friendly-ish comment, I think that comments like that are going to wear on Irena at some point. Maybe not this season, but by next season, I can totally see Ashley and Irena end up getting into it, because Ashley is a lot to deal with, and she do got a mouth that she don't sugarcoat shit. So I can see them getting into it at some point. So Tasha was like, it's not what you said, it was the delivery. I was even taken aback by what you said. I'm like, damn, she's grilling her. And Irena disagrees that she doesn't feel like Ashley was grilling Winter. Now, from what we saw, and this was the edited version of it, she was coming at Winter, but it was with all valid questions, because I felt like Winter was trying to gloss over the fact that she didn't do what she needed to do as a grown woman when it came to marrying this man. So Ashley, in her confessional, however, was like, Tasha, why are you here? And I was like, oh, bitch, don't do that. Don't do Tasha like that, because I fucks with Tasha. I likes her a lot. So Winter says Ashley was, being aggressive, and Ashley in her confession was like, I'm aggressive Ashley. Ooh, we can make that a hashtag. And I was like, this heifer is stupid. And so Ashley apologizes to Winter for so-called being aggressive, but not for having an opinion. She was like, I will not apologize for that. And so at this point, Winter realizes that, yeah, we ain't vibing. We don't like each other, and we don't see each other. And the episode goes off, child. I must say that things are heating up in DC. I'm really liking where the show is going so far. I hope you guys are watching it and loving it as much as I am. I give tonight's episode an A-. I really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying, these new storylines, the dynamics with these older children, the friendships that are forming, the alliances that are forming. I'm peeping game. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's talk down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.